Transformed into a rich young master, the gold digger cried and begged for reconciliation. After my girlfriend was admitted to her master's program, I treated her classmates to a meal. Amid the cheers of the crowd, she and David kissed sweetly. I broke up decisively, but she looked at me coldly. You are just a high school student. What qualifications do you have to break up with me, a master's degree student? Why don't you look in the mirror? Are you worthy of me? The next second, the restaurant owner, Xiao Qingmei, threw herself into my arms. Michael, hold me to sleep. I picked her up by the waist and held her tightly in my arms. But the girlfriend behind him had completely red eyes. I am happier than anyone else that Xinwei was admitted to a master's program. I specially picked a high-end restaurant to treat her classmates to dinner. The atmosphere at the banquet was very lively, and someone pushed the door open midway through. I heard there was a happy event, so I came to share in the joy. The voice sounded familiar, so I turned my head to look. It turned out to be Sophia, whom I hadn't seen for many years. My little tale since childhood, a true childhood sweetheart. She smiled sweetly, and the red fishtail skirt made her look even more beautiful. There were more than a dozen bottles of expensive foreign wine on the cart. The waiter stood behind Sophia with a big smile on his face. This is the wine our boss lady sent us. I hope you all have a good time tonight. Everyone was very excited. I didn't expect that the boss lady of Muyu is so beautiful. Madam Boss, please do me a favor and eat with me. Sophia smiled even more broadly and found a seat to sit down politely. Looking at Sophia chatting and laughing freely in the crowd, Xinwei beside me snorted. A vixen, she doesn't look like a good person. Her voice was very low, but it just reached my ears. I frowned and squeezed her hand. Don't talk like that. It's rude. When he raised his head, he met Sophia's eyes again. I quickly looked away and picked up a bottle of wine to hide my embarrassment. Hey, look at what Michael is doing. A shrill voice sounded. It was Xinwei's classmate. He picked up a bottle of wine. This wine is not cheap. The beautiful lady boss is very generous. But Michael, can you read English? My face flushed. Who said I don't understand English? What is it? He replied sarcastically, oh, I forgot, you also studied English in high school. In an instant, countless sarcastic eyes fell on me. I clenched my teeth and my fists creaked. Sophia fiddled with the rim of the glass. Pa! The crisp sound of the landing attracted everyone's attention. She curled her lips, looking innocent. I was wondering, who paid for your meal? After all, my Muyu pomp and circumstance is not cheap. As I was thinking, I got distracted and even broke the cup. She propped her face up with her hand, leaned forward, and stared at me with a pair of cunning fox eyes without blinking. Host, you are so handsome, you won't blame me for breaking the cup and affecting your mood, right? Xinwei's classmates' faces turned blue and white. Muyu, one meal is worth a month's salary for me. If I didn't treat them, how could these students afford it? Sophia was helping me out. Xinwei whispered, Michael, please, don't embarrass me on such a good day today. After saying that, she stood up and toasted the male classmate who had mocked me. I apologize on behalf of Michael and you, don't be angry. Seeing this, everyone present quickly tried to smooth things over and suggested playing truth or dare. I forced a smile and said, forget it, for Xinwei. I swallowed this breath. In the first round, Xinwei drew the truth. I was just about to take the opportunity to ask her when she wanted to get married, Weiwei, you. But he was interrupted by someone. Ziox him.I, what are your criteria for choosing a partner? What kind of man do you like? David from Xinwei School. Recently, I have heard his name too many times from Xinwei. I was furious, but just as I was about to speak, Xinwei picked up the wine glass and drank it all. She lowered her head, her cheeks flushed, and she didn't say a word the whole time, leaving a large blank that aroused people's imagination. Everyone laughed. Yo, don't answer, you are shy. That's right, Xinwei must like someone like Michael. Well, a boyfriend is a boyfriend, and mate selection criteria are mate selection criteria. It's okay for David to ask. No answer. Could it be that there is someone else you like? I looked at the silent Xinwei and felt something strange in my heart. When I came to my senses, the game had entered the second round. This time David drew the big adventure. The boy who just mocked me had a smirk on his face. David, pick one of the girls here and kiss her for 1 minute. David raised his eyebrows, and a hint of amusement flashed across his eyes as he looked at Xinwei. Junior sister, can you cooperate? Enough. I stood up suddenly and pushed David away. Don't go too far, damn. Michael. What's wrong with you? Xinwei screamed at me. I was stunned by her shouting. Am I crazy? He's about to kiss you, and you say I'm crazy? Shinwei stamped her feet in anger. It's just a game. You really embarrass me. Do you know any etiquette? I stared at her. Is this woman in front of me really Shinwei? We were in love for 5 years, and I paid for her college education and her postgraduate study. I pay for all her rent, water, electricity, and living expenses. I prepare gifts for her in advance for every festival, big or small, and I set the highest limit for her intimate payment. As long as she wants something, I will do my best to satisfy her. I gave so much to her, but she treated me like this for someone who didn't matter. I laughed in anger. So what? Shinwei patted my shoulder as if coaxing a child. Okay, be good, I'm going to kiss you, I don't want to embarrass you. I suddenly felt like a clown. Shinwei, if you dare to kiss him, we will break up. She glared at me, then stood on tiptoe and kissed David directly on the lips. A group of people surrounded the three of us and excitedly counted down to 1 minute. I was so angry that I felt dizzy and the muscles on both sides of my face were shaking. After the kiss, Shinwei turned around, her face flushed from the passionate kiss. Michael, it's just a game. Is it that serious? You are just a high school student. What qualifications do you have to break up with me, a master's degree student? Why don't you look in the mirror? Are you worthy of me? In an instant, many pairs of eyes filled with malicious ridicule fell on me. All the blood in my body rushed to my head in an instant, my temples were throbbing, and I overturned the table. You. I got the big adventure too. Amid the noise, Sophia's voice was as soft as candy as she read the adventure card. Find a boy to sleep with me on the spot. She stood up while reading, her steps unsteady, as if she was drunk. She walked past everyone, past the spilled food and broken bottles on the floor, and staggered to me. Handsome guy, do you want to sleep with me? The whole place was silent. I looked at Sophia. Her cheeks were rosy and when she opened her arms she looked like a spoiled child, but her little fox-like eyes were exceptionally clear. Michael, I want a hug. Shinwei's face turned pale. You idiot, do you have any shame? He's my boyfriend. Michael, don't agree to it. But the next second, I picked up Sophia by the waist. 1 minute ago, I stopped being your boyfriend. Sophia put her arms around my neck and smiled brightly back at me. Good things come in pairs. You get into graduate school, and I sleep with a handsome guy. I'll give you two a free meal. As soon as we got in the car, Sophia jumped around and started kneading my face. Michael, you bastard. Are you happy to see me? Sophia has a very good alcohol tolerance. There is no reason for her to get drunk after just a few drinks. But I really want to get drunk. Sophia rolled her eyes. He told the driver, go home. I drank a lot of wine that night and thought of a lot of things. Shinwei transferred to our school in her second year of high school. She has a quiet personality, fair complexion and well-behaved appearance, and is always stopped in the alley by hooligans who ask for money. If you can't produce it, you will be beaten, and even worse, some people will take the opportunity to take advantage of you. I saved her. In the next 2 years, she always followed me timidly. While playing basketball, she secretly brought me water. He handed me an umbrella on a rainy day and rushed to catch the bus in his school uniform. I had a high fever that wouldn't go away, so she skipped classes, climbed over the wall and came to my house to make soup and give me medicine. I thought she was just thanking me for reaching out to her. Until the day of the college entrance examination, I suddenly suffered from acute gastroenteritis and ended up missing 3 subjects, with my scores only good enough to get into a junior college. In order to take me to the hospital, Shinwei missed an exam. She could have been admitted to a top university, but in the end she only got into a general university. Her parents are both honest rural people. It is not easy for them to support her to go to school. I felt so guilty, but she just smiled and asked me, Michael, please try to accept me, try to like me, okay? When I met her clear eyes, I agreed for some reason. After entering college, the gap between the rich and the poor gradually widened. I was afraid that she would be wronged, so in order to give her a better life, I chose to drop out of college after only 1 year in work, and devoted myself to supporting her schooling and postgraduate entrance examinations. But what did I get? Michael, you bastard. I came to my senses and found that Sophia's face was only half a fist away from me. I quickly stepped back a little. Hey, why are you scolding me? You don't keep your word. You don't keep your promise. I can't scold you. I rubbed my swollen temples. Well, you deserve to be scolded. I grew up in the same compound with Sophia, and I didn't move out until my parents divorced when I was 13. The court awarded me to my father, but he couldn't wait to throw me to my grandmother, fearing that I, a burden, would delay his second life. My mother is a workaholic. Every day she is either discussing business or on her way to discuss business. I consider it a lot if I see her 3 times in a year. Although we are no longer neighbors, Sophia always comes to see me. Every time she comes, she brings a lot of food, drinks, and daily necessities, as if she is afraid that my grandma will feed me to death. When I was 17, my grandmother passed away. Neither my parents showed up. They each transferred 100,000 yuan to me and told me not to bother them unless necessary, and to pay the remaining balance on the card if I had any problems. I was completely disappointed. After the funeral, I moved away with my grandmother's urn and never contacted them again. In the same year, Sophia went abroad to study. Before she left, she told me again and again, "You must reply to Sophia's message. Michael can't forget Sophia." I promised, but I didn't do it. I haven't forgotten Sophia. But after failing the college entrance examination, I no longer had the face to face her. I know that no one in this world has expectations of me except Sophia. And precisely because she was Sophia, I felt even more embarrassed to speak. I blamed myself and gave up on myself. It's Shinwei. It was she who accompanied me through that decadent time. She told me that there are many paths in life and it is not necessary to study. Shinwei's eyes were like shining stars, and she smiled as she looked at me. "Michael, I believe in you. No matter where you are, you will always be the best Michael." But now she said, "Look in the mirror, are you worthy of me?" The bell rang, it was Shinwei. I stared at the photo flashing on the screen for a long time. The words she said kept ringing in my ears. I closed my eyes. Forget it. You can love, but you cannot love without dignity. Just as I was about to hang up, Sophia snatched the phone away from me. Her fingertips slipped, and Shenwei's voice came from the microphone. "Michael, where are you? I was wrong. I don't want you to be with anyone else. Stay away from that vixen. I beg you." Shenwei's voice was choked with sobs, and she sounded like she was crying. Like a wounded kitten crying for help. My heart softened and my hand holding the phone tightened unconsciously. Sophia suddenly reached out and pinched my lower abdomen, and I groaned in pain. The phone fell to the ground. Shinwei asked anxiously, "Michael? What's wrong with you?" Before I could react, Sophia started slapping my thighs rhythmically. The papa sound mixed with the ambiguous sound she hummed. She was so delicate and sweet that it made me blush. Shinwei on the other end of the phone was silent for a few seconds, then burst into tears. "Michael, you will regret betraying me." The moment the phone was hung up, Sophia stopped quickly. I looked at the overlapping slap marks on my legs, and then looked at Sophia, who was calm and composed. "Satisfied?" She snorted. "Not just anyone can bully my people." I smiled bitterly. Feeling upset and having a headache. I fell back and didn't want to care about anything anymore. In a daze, I heard Sophia mumbling as she covered me with a blanket. "Michael, if you dare to hide from me again, I will break your legs. Forget it, just assume that you were fooled by a bad woman. Don't you ever disappear again." The next day at noon, I rubbed my swollen temples and struggled to get up. Walking into the kitchen, Sophia turned around and pointed at the table. "Honey water, it will help with headaches, drink it quickly." I felt a little embarrassed and didn't know where to put my eyes. Sophia was wearing a loose white shirt, with her long curly hair casually tied at the side of her neck, revealing a pair of white and slender legs, which were dazzling when she walked. "Damn it, I'm a man." I quickly turned my back. "What are you thinking about, idiot?" Sophia tilted her head and looked at me while holding a bowl of clear soup noodles. I shook my head like a rattle and took another gulp of honey water. "Well, I forgot to ask, when did you return home?" I just casually brought up the topic, but there was no response for a long time. When I looked up, Sophia was staring at me with a look of gritted teeth. "I came back the 3rd month after you didn't reply to my messages. I couldn't find you anywhere, Michael. I thought you were fucking dead." This didn't sound like she was throwing a tantrum, she was really angry. I quickly explained. "I'm busy with work. Sometimes Shinwei is short of money and pushes me to pay her back, so I have to work overtime and attend social events to earn some extra money. I'm so busy that I don't log into my social media accounts very often." After these words, Sophia's face remained expressionless. The atmosphere completely cooled down. Just as I was trembling with fear, wondering if Sophia would use the kitchen knife in her hand to cut me into pieces, she finally spoke. She glanced at me indifferently. "Tell me, what has Shinwei done for you to do so much for her?" I sighed and ate my noodles while talking about the past few years with Shinwei. It's a bit embarrassing and a bit sad. But fortunately Sophia didn't laugh at me. She looked at me seriously, with a flash of thought in her eyes, like heartache. Sophia, I have a weak relationship with my parents in this life, and suddenly someone appears and she likes me. It's normal for her to like you, and I also. I was a little stunned. What is she too? Sophia looked me straight in the eye and suddenly changed the subject. Do you know clearly whether you love Shinwei or owe her something? Sophia's words kept lingering in my mind. When I got home and turned on the entrance light, I saw Shinwei. She sat on the sofa with red eyes, as if she had been crying. When she saw me come in, she immediately rushed over and hugged me. Michael, I was wrong. I was too impulsive last night. Please don't be angry, okay? I know you're just using that woman to piss me off. From now on I'll behave myself and stop contacting Senior, and you should ignore her too. Her self-righteous tone made me want to laugh. Why can't you ignore her? Because you're my boyfriend. I love you, and I don't like seeing you being so intimate with others. You love me, so you kiss other men? Shinwei's brows tightened. Why are you still brooding over this? Didn't I apologize to you? I stared at her face for a long time without saying a word. She asked me, what are you looking at? What are you looking at? That summer, she was thin and weak, but she still tried her best to carry me on her back. Even though my knee was bleeding and my palm was scratched, he still insisted on sending me to the hospital. At that time, I was in so much pain that I broke out in cold sweats. I forced myself to use my sanity to persuade her to go back and take the exam. I said, the future is more important than anything else. She said, Michael, you must be in my future. The sun was shining brightly in the sky and I was thinking in a daze. Very nice. It turns out that there are people in this world who need me so much. Then I must not let her down. In the years that followed, I always remembered how good she was to me and what she did for me. So no matter how hard or tiring the work is, I will grit my teeth and do it. Because I was afraid that she wouldn't have a good life, that she would feel wrong being with me, and that she would regret giving up her future for me. Is it love, or debt? I finally figured out the problem. Over the past few years, we have hugged, kissed, and been close to each other. As soon as I got my salary, I wanted to buy her something. Whether it was time or money, I spent it all on Shinwei. I try my best to give her the best within my ability. Maybe the initial decision was related to debt, but in the moments that followed, my subconscious intimacy and concern were just my body following the choice of my heart. I really love Shinwei. I'm looking at you. When did you change? How come I didn't know? Or maybe not. But I always pretended not to see it and was nice to her with a blind eye. Michael, please don't be like this. I know I was wrong. I really know I was wrong. Please give me another chance. I will definitely change in the future. Okay? Shinwei panicked, tears welling up in her eyes. Michael. We're done. Shinwei looked at me in disbelief. Just because of a kiss, are you going to give up our relationship of all these years? She suddenly grabbed my hand and said, tell me the truth, did you really sleep with that woman last night? Have you been together for a long time? I brushed her hand away. Throwing dirty water on others doesn't make you look clean. I turned around quickly and threw all her things out. Shinwei cried and wanted to rush forward to hug me, but I pushed her away. Roll. I slammed the door. Shinwei's crying voice came through the door intermittently. I leaned against the door, closed my eyes, and took a deep breath. I don't know how long it took, but it finally became quiet. The phone vibrated. When I looked down, I saw it was a call from King Sophia, the most beautiful and smart queen in the universe. I don't even know when she saved the note. Asshole. Come out, I'll take you for a ride. I stood at the window and looked down. She was wearing a short jacket and leaning on a black motorcycle with her legs crossed. Her long hair was blown up and down by the wind. She stroked it for a long time. She seemed to be a little annoyed by the disturbing wind and raised her fists in the air a few times. When we looked up, we looked at each other. She put her hands on her hips and looked at me. If you don't come down, I will peel your skin off. I laughed softly. I'll be right there. Before going downstairs, I made a phone call. I've made up my mind. I'll report to the company tomorrow. The person on the other end kept saying okay, and I didn't say anything else and just hung up. Just breaking up. As long as I still have the strength to get up, I won't let myself lie on the ground for too long. The top of the mountains may not be what I imagined. But I will definitely climb up and take a look. After joining the company, I refused the position of general manager and instead started as a staff member at the most basic level. I learned with an open mind and worked diligently, and soon gained recognition from my colleagues. I also enrolled in adult undergraduate courses and worked hard to improve my academic qualifications. The world is vast. These years I have been like a weed that no one cares about, growing alone in a dark corner. Shinwei's kindness to me is like sunshine and rain. In a sense, I want to thank Shinwei. She taught me what love is. I didn't understand before. I thought love was to hold your heart in your hands, regardless of anything, and give up everything. But now I understand. The prerequisite for getting love is to love yourself. My colleagues crowded at the door and winked at me. Michael, the beauty is here again. I looked up and saw Sophia. She was holding a thermos in her hand. I made you some soup and sweet and sour pork ribs. Colleagues at the company started to make a fuss. Oh, there are also sweet and sour spare ribs. Young lovers are all about sour and sweet. I smiled awkwardly and quickly pulled Sophia to the rooftop. What, you don't want to eat? I sighed. Let's talk. She looked at me for a few seconds. Why are you so serious? Yes, Sophia, like you. Is that not okay? She raised her chin slightly, her eyes full of determination. But I can see it. You can see her trembling fingertips and hear the sobs in her voice. Shinwei and I have been together for 5 years. A nail driven through a wall will leave a hole, termites will hollow out holes in the ground, and any damage that forms a scab will inevitably leave a scar. Sophia is fine, I can't hurt her. It's not fair for me to be with you now. Is it fair that you reject me without even thinking about it? She looked hurt, and the mist in her eyes fell in the blink of an eye. Sophia. I don't want to make her cry. But apart from calling her name, I didn't know what to say, and could only watch her turn and leave. I followed the company to University A to attend the ribbon-cutting ceremony. The company donated a library and 3 laboratory buildings. Halfway through the ceremony, I suddenly saw David and Shinwei. Then I remembered that they were studying for their master's degree at University A. David smiled contemptuously. You can even come to the ribbon-cutting ceremony? What? Did the wage earner hook up with a rich woman? Shinwei, who was standing next to him, looked at me and then at Michael's mother who was giving a speech on the stage. Michael, when did you join the Michael family? Why didn't you tell me? He told you even when he slept with a rich woman? You cry for him every day. Shinwei's eyes turned red when David shouted at her. At this moment, Michael's mother on the stage suddenly waved her hand at me. Michael, come here. Michael's mother is over 50 years old, but she takes good care of herself and looks like she is only in her early 30s. She held my hand and looked at David. This classmate is right. Michael has indeed hooked up with a rich woman. He hooked up with her since birth. David's face froze. He didn't expect that Michael's mother was my mother. I remember that David seemed to be on the internship list submitted by your school. The principal's face was stiff. Our Michael family will politely reject people with bad conduct. My mother shrugged and smiled calmly. David panicked, and when he came to his senses he actually wanted to climb onto the stage to pull my mother away. The principal decisively asked the security guard to carry him out. As soon as the ribbon-cutting ceremony was over, I was pulled into the archives room. Michael, I missed you so much. Shinwei hugged me tightly, with tears in her voice. You hid your background from me, and I kissed someone else in front of you, so we're even now. How about getting back together? I broke free from her grasp. Shinwei, can't we just part ways amicably? Do you really have to disgust me? Does it matter who my mother is? Have I treated you badly in all these years? She cried out. Yes. You are so good to me. You put me on a pedestal. But I just can't help but wonder, maybe you don't love me at all? Maybe you just feel like you owe me something. Michael, can you understand? I am standing at the pinnacle of love, but I am afraid of falling every minute and every second. I closed my eyes. Let's stop here. I won't say I wish you happiness, but let's part ways amicably. Michael. I left the archives room without looking back. Unexpectedly, the next day, a post appeared in the campus supertopic of University A. The title is, Shocking. A female master's degree holder is two-timing, and she failed to hook up with a rich man and got dumped. I don't know who copied the surveillance footage from the archives room, but when I clicked on it, I could see the video of Shinwei hugging me and crying and begging for a reconciliation. The post is extremely popular. The comments section has thousands of floors. Soon someone found out that I was the one who supported Shinwei's studies from college to master's degree. In a short time, the story of rich young master turning into pure love god of war went viral on major video platforms. Shinwei became known as a gold digger and a green tea bitch by netizens. At the same time, discussions about me on the internet became more and more intense. Someone left a message on my mother's personal account, saying that he wanted to be her daughter-in-law. Someone even sent a private message to my mother, asking if I could sponsor her to go to school. My mother quickly responded to the incident publicly on the platform. My son is kind by nature. It's just a poverty alleviation project that he has been working on for 5 years. Let's go. Although she didn't mention anyone by name, anyone with a discerning eye could tell that my mother was making a veiled criticism of Shinwei. University A was also pushed to the forefront by this post, and the school tracked down David through the IP address of the post. It turns out that Shinwei and David slept together that night when they played Truth or Dare. But Shinwei didn't want to break up with me at all. She couldn't bear to give up my kindness to her. David has a rebellious personality and can't stand being treated as a backup. Especially after my mother eliminated his internship quota, Shinwei's kindness towards me completely infuriated him. He posted this to teach Shinwei a lesson. Let her know that she has nowhere else to go except by his side. I'm too lazy to pay attention to them. Haven't seen Sophia for a long time. How to coax her? I went to Muyu more than 10 times, but she refused to see me. The lobby manager who was bribed by me secretly sent me a message. Michael, that Shinwei came over and called our boss a vixen. Do you still want to be our brother-in-law? Sophia is going to be pissed off. When I arrived, the lobby manager and a group of waiters were blocking the door of the private room. Seeing me coming, they quickly made way for me. Through the door, I heard Shinwei's voice. You vixen, why did you seduce Michael? Sophia said in a pleasant tone. Mr. Shun, I advise you to be more normal. Your face is really not so pretty that people can ignore the fact that you are mentally ill. You. Shinwei suddenly changed the subject. You don't think that your childhood sweetheart has any value, do you? You have known each other for more than 20 years. If Michael liked you, he would have been with you a long time ago. How could it be my turn? I pushed open a small crack and looked inside. Sophia said nothing and looked at Shinwei calmly. I understand her. The sadder she is, the more expressionless she is. Shinwei's tone was full of provocation. Don't be so self-indulgent. You are just a tool he uses to get angry with me, you. I pushed the door open directly. Do you still have any shame? Shinwei didn't expect me to show up. She was startled. I didn't give her a chance to speak and directly called the security to kick her out. The lobby manager stuffed a rag into her mouth. Sophia, Michael, you two can chat. I secretly gave her a thumbs up. But when I turned around, Sophia had disappeared. I still have to go on a blind date, so I'll leave first. Blind date? What kind of blind date? I sat behind the green plants and tried to look in Sophia's direction. The blind date was very handsome, and I immediately felt jealous. Who is this person? Wearing a little white suit and a pink bow tie. With his greasy hair and powdered face, Sophia would never like such a man. I raised my eyebrows, and just when I felt relieved, I saw this pretty boy actually dared to feed Sophia. It doesn't matter, Sophia will definitely break his fingers. No. How come she actually ate it? No, what is she laughing at? Damn it, why is she smiling so beautifully at that pretty boy? I took a few steps forward and sat directly next to Sophia. The pretty boy looked at me for a few times, said nothing, and leaned back with his arms folded. I get angry when I see the provocative look on his face. Sophia frowned at me. What are you doing here? I'll protect you. I said hastily, I'm sitting behind the green plant, I'll tell you. Excuse me, that's not called sitting behind the green plants, that's called hiding behind the green plants. The pretty boy suddenly spoke. Oh shit. Not only does he have a slicked back face, but he also points his fingers when he speaks. Why do I need you to protect me? Sophia pulled my ear and turned my attention to her. I haven't seen her for a long time. I really miss her a little. Michael, you have to be reasonable. Even if you don't like me, there will always be someone who does. I suddenly remembered that morning when she sat opposite me with heartache in her eyes. She said, it's normal for her to like you, and I also. What was the sentence she didn't finish? I took a deep breath. It's normal for him to like you, and I like you too. Who wouldn't like such a good Sophia? The pretty boy opposite suddenly burst into laughter. Oh, Sophia, please stop teasing him. I think he's good-looking, handsome and useful. Our Sophia is really lucky. You little girl, you eat so well. I'm so jealous of you. TSK. Wrong. The pretty boy doesn't seem to be the same type as me. Meeting Sophia's cunning eyes, I sighed. You've been tricked. But it doesn't matter, I enjoy it. When we returned to Muyu, Sophia and I saw several pools of blood at the door. The security guard said that Shinwei and David had a fierce argument and during the fight, Shinwei suffered a miscarriage. Passers-by took photos of the two of them and posted them on a short video platform. Soon someone revealed that Shinwei's uterus was severely damaged and she would never be able to get pregnant again. David was charged with intentional injury by Shinwei and was eventually sentenced to 3 years in prison. Shinwei couldn't make it in University A anymore, so her parents took her back to the countryside. Before leaving, she came to see me. Sophia said she didn't care, but her eyes kept drifting over here. I thought she was cute and couldn't help but smile. Shinwei lowered her head. Michael, will you ever look back? I suddenly recalled that midsummer, when pain and cold sweat were intertwined, the streets were long, and we walked for a long, long time. But every road will come to an end one day. I won't look back. Shinwei raised her eyes. Michael didn't wait for her to reply. The crowd was noisy, and he walked forward holding Sophia's hand. Their figures leaning against each other gradually became blurred. Shinwei looked away. The lens was fogged up.